We would like to thank our sponsors, Getaway Today. Use Getaway Today for all of your vacation planning needs. You'll get exclusive perks, great discounts, and the best customer service. Most importantly, their services are always free and easy, from experienced and passionate agents who love to make your vacation dreams come true. Head on over to getawaytoday.com from the link in our show notes to see their exclusive deals, and you can call 855-GET-AWAY and let them know Walt's Apartment sent you to start planning your next vacation today.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation.
Spark a dream that we're meant to follow.
You're listening to the Extra Magic Hour, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider. Join the team in the studio as they bring you the spirit of Disney through park news, history, and tips and tricks to make your Disney Parks vacation even more magical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Extra Magic Hour. We're a Disney Parks podcast brought to you by Walt's Apartment and the DisInsider.com. What do you get when you bring together a group of like-minded Disney Parks fans from all over the country? You get the Extra Magic Hour. Now, hang on to them hats and glasses. Here's the best Disney Parks podcast in the wilderness.
What's up?
Hey, everyone. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. How you guys doing tonight?
Glad to
Magical.
doing this. Yeah, doing
We're
good.
back. Everyone is here. Sam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited
Good.
to hear some things that Shawn is keeping from us.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really building it up.
Yeah, stick around.
Yeah, just wait.
Breanna. How are you tonight?
Hey, doing good. I feel like I haven't recorded this in a long time.
I know it seems like I think we didn't do it. Yeah, it's been a while.
And then,
Sam
the
wasn't.
last time I wasn't here.
I think the time before that
Yeah.
was just the guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, it was
Chris
me. It
and
was
yeah.
me, Shawn, and Chris. Yeah. So yeah, welcome back. We're gonna have a fun show. We're gonna talk about finally some exciting stuff happening in the parks. So we're gonna dive into that. Sam has another focus on an Imagineer, and then Breanna's going to talk about some travel tips, and then we're going to help Shawn some more plan his trip. We have this episode, and I believe two more or one. I think only one more before you go, huh, Shawn?
That might be because we're doing it every other week, right? So there is
I
just
think it
this
is.
one, the 17th and the 31st. Then I'll be off that weekend.
And I think we're trying to work on something special for you on the 31st. We'll let you know if that pans out. So we're trying to have another guest on with us, but we'll see if we can make that work.
Gosh,
So-
I hope it's Mickey. I hope it's Mickey. I hope it's Mickey.
I'm going to feel bad. She's pretty cool, but it's not Mickey. I'm not going to lie.
Elsa?
Real quick, check out all of our other podcasts. You have Walt's Apartment Podcast, which is live streams on Wednesday night, which is releases on Thursdays. The Disney Beat, Shawn's own podcast, which covers all the news on DisInsider, which comes out every Monday. You have Force Friday with Amber and Jade, covering Star Wars. They are doing that show whenever they can do one. So you'll just get a Force Friday whenever it's good for them. Also,
And you'll like it.
And yeah, and you'll appreciate it. And you have the Marvel Tribe, which is myself, Sam, Bill, Chris, David, and anyone else on the whole crew wants to be part of it. Just let us know. We want anyone. David wants a huge group in the Marvel Tribe. So talking all things Marvel. We just finished WandaVision, had a break. Now we're getting ready to start with Falcon and Winter Soldier. So check out all of our shows on the Walt's Apartment feed. And also, Sam, Disology Podcast, what's coming up next for you guys?
We did just take a break this week because my brain needed a break. So we are going to be doing our episode on the psychology behind binge watching and how TV can be like a drug. Sitcoms can be like a drug for you. So we're going to do that for this weekend.
And who's your special guest?
We're going to have David do it with us because he and I celebrated our addiction to WandaVision together.
Cute. I love that.
All right, so here we go. We're going to dive into some parks news. Finally, it's been a while. Let's talk about some good things happening finally. First thing, this podcast is recorded on a Wednesday night on the 17th. It comes out on the 19th. So first thing that's coming on the 18th is A Touch of Disney back at Disney's California Adventure. Shawn, do you know a little bit about that? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I know exactly a little bit about that. It is coming, not coming back. It's coming to Disney California Adventure. They haven't done it before, and it's their food. There's
they've had food and wine before, right?
Well, they've had festival like food and wine festivals and stuff,
Yeah.
but they've never done just this, because this is so. What's kind of interesting though, and this is going to bleed into some of the other stories, is that they had to plan this because they didn't know when California was going to maybe change some of the guidelines. So this is something they planned. It was $75 a ticket. It's sold out. It goes from the 18th, so the day before this airs, all the way through mid-April, and it's they're going to have food, specialty food options, all over Disney California Adventure, just that park. They will have a character photography sessions as part of your pass. You'll get the photo pass, so you can get a link to your account. They all have special music playing. Just no shows and no rides because they had to keep it separate from a theme park. So that's what they're going to do, and it goes through mid-April, and then that will lead us into our
other news. Yep,
another story later.
So we haven't discussed Touch of Magic since we haven't recorded. Sam, would you pay $75 to come to Disney's California Adventure to eat food and drink and not ride any rides?
Probably not.
If you were closer,
if you lived in California,
if I was local, yes.
Okay. How about you, Breanna?
Local, yes.
Yeah, I tried to get tickets. I did.
I heard that was a freaking nightmare, by the way. So
I was in line for 4 hours and I didn't get anything.
And you didn't get a ticket?
No.
Wow.
No, it was my fault because I fell asleep because I had to work that night, and I woke up and I was like, crap, I didn't log on, and so I logged on real fast. And
Shawn, would you?
Oh yeah, of course. Yep.
Yeah, I think I would too. But it would be sad to be there though and seeing everything. Just I saw some YouTube blogger the other day. They were doing they got cast. They got to be in from a
last night. Yeah, the day before yesterday, they did the cast previews.
And they were walking through there, and it was just weird. They were playing different music, which I thought was cool. They played the Figment song, which is the Little Spark song.
One Little Spark.
Yes, they played that. They were very excited about that. And I guess they've changed the music playing in the park. But yeah, Touch of Disney is cool. They had to do something because people need to come back to work, and they got approval to do that. So I'm happy that they got to do that. But a few more things before we get to the big story. Remy's Ratatouille? What is it called?
Adventure.
Is opening on. This ride's been complete. Correct me if I'm wrong. Since last year, correct? It's been done
in January. They finished up.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you did your interview with Jack from DSNY News, he was saying that it might open, springtime. So did he say spring, or was he
there
thinking
was just some
later?
thought because it was done. So a lot of people, not just him, but like some of the big guys who've got connections with Disney, they all were thinking it was going to be out this spring because they already did. They ran it. They've done cast member previews, and they're starting to take down some of the areas that are blocked off. And so people were thinking again, though. I mean, they had no inside sources. So, but yeah, like you said, if you didn't say it, they moved it to not moved it. And I need to correct people on Twitter when I see this. Right. They never moved it to October 1st because they never announced an opening date prior. So they just announced it'll be opened on October 1st.
Which is a really smart thing, actually, because it's going to redirect traffic in the parks at Walt Disney World away from Magic Kingdom for the anniversary.
Yep. Yeah. Which also starts that on that day. October 1st is the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. So like Sam said, that is such a smart idea to pull people somewhere else.
If they can, though, the park reservations are all gone for that day.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have park reservations to do that.
Now?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're all booked now.
I was going to say, last I looked, they weren't, but that's been a couple days. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next thing that we have on the list is the big barges or circles or 60-foot tall circles. Where is that at Epcot? I know nothing about Walt Disney World. So where is that actually at? They're building these huge barges?
It's in the World Showcase Lagoon.
Okay. And that's going to be for the Harmonious show, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah.
The friendship boats can still go through. It's going to be a fountain during the day. and then it's going to be for the light show at night.
I remember, and if you guys have not listened to Jack and Shawn's interview on the Disney Beat, it's so good. And it was funny listening to Jack talk about how they're going to hide 60 feet of a 60-foot circle in the lagoon during the day, because water is just water and it's clear. So what are they going to do to actually hide it during the day? And will it be taken down?
They're not going to hide it. It's not going to be hidden. It's just, there are going to be the Epcot purists who are going to be upset about it because it does ruin a lot of sightlines. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't ruin sightlines. It changes sightlines. So people who consider change to be ruined, which is understandable, there's a lot of people who do, are going to think that it was ruined, and people who don't mind change and, kind of embrace it, they'll be happy. So there's a lot of people who are very, it's a very hot topic right now.
Okay.
Yes. And there are going to be a lot of people who are going to judge it before they've actually seen it for themselves. Mm-hmm. Because that tends to happen a lot in Disney.
Well, especially something they have to kind of build in front of everyone. Like, they can't do it behind any walls. They got to set these barges up in front of everyone. So everyone's going to judge it before it's even done, which would be, yeah.
But I mean, Disney does everything with making the visual appeal like the front of your mind. They're not going to leave something that looks incredibly tacky. If you think about the concept of weenies, like, they're trying to draw you to the next part of the park. They don't want you to be stuck and fixated on this big thing in the middle of the water. They're going to figure it out. Mm-hmm. They probably have an amazing plan. We just don't know what it is.
Right. I will say the last time I was at California Adventure, all of the jets for World of Color were actually up out of the water. You talk about it, it's a different look. It's like an eyesore. You're like, okay, but I guess like 4 of them got broken, so they have to raise this whole thing out of the water, and they were out there working on it with boats and stuff. So, and you could hear people, oh my God, it just takes away from the people. Stuff has to be fixed. It has to be worked on. No one is ever happy with everything. So, I'm looking forward to seeing.
From the magic is people like just letting stuff like degrade and break down and not changing anything. So this is what
kind of like cardboard cutouts on Grand Fiesta Tour.
Yes, they could have done a little different there.
Okay, I understand they're doing maintenance on the animatronics. Like, got it. Like, thank you for fixing them, but please give them back to us at some point. Yeah. Please don't leave a cardboard cutout stay there.
I mean, I was a big fan of the shrubbery that was Donald Duck.
Oh my gosh.
With the hat, with the sombrero.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shawn, tell us about Disneyland Paris. Not open.
Oh yeah,
like it was supposed to.
They talked about opening on April 2nd, and they've canceled that opening. So there's no opening date yet for Disneyland Paris, and the real issue is that Europe's having a really hard time with another big surge of COVID-19 cases. There's a huge vaccine hesitancy issue in Europe, a little bit more so actually than we have here in the United States. So there's a lot of people who aren't getting the vaccine willfully. So it's allowing some of these variants to kind of really take off. And they're having a hard time too with because AstraZeneca was one of the big vaccines that they were using in a lot of parts of Europe, and they just tabled that for. We won't get into that, but so it's really taking off, and so for everything, a lot of those countries are seeing a resurgence. Like now, we're watching the number of the United States, and they're dropping off, and occasionally, like about a week ago, they leveled off for 2 days, and we go, oh no, they're leveling off. But like out in Europe, they're like rising again, which is like, oh my goodness. And so France, they're closing. It's really hard for Disney because. They own all of Disneyland Paris. The Asian parks, they share ownership, which means they share benefits, but they also share the costs. And so they're really taking all these costs in right now, not letting Disneyland Paris. And they're doing so much remodeling there and adding lands to Walt Disney Studios, the park. Mm-hmm. They're adding Avengers Campus, the Frozen Land, and they're adding Galaxy's Edge eventually. So there's a lot of construction going on, but not a lot of income happening. So it's sad.
Well, there's something happening that's going to create some income here coming up real soon. So it was announced this morning. So like I said, this is recorded on Wednesday, which is St. Patrick's. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. It's announced this morning that Disneyland announced that they will be reopening on April 30th. Now, this is very, very exciting for people like myself who have not been there now in 3 years. So I'm so excited. Not gonna lie, I teared up this morning when I first saw the first post. I'm like, damn, this is, we have a group chat for our family that we plan our trips, and my daughter threw something in there, I threw something in there, we're all talking. I'm like, damn, we're actually talking about Disneyland being open again, and came out with my grandsons and we watched It's a Small World and we watched Pirates this morning. It's just, I'm so excited. They are opening with a lot of restrictions. Shawn, do you want to cover some of the restrictions that they're going to have?
Yeah, they'll have a capacity restriction, 15% if Orange County's in red tier, and it'll be 25% if they're in orange tier. Right. They have to be California residents. I know that I don't know if they've officially said what they're going to do with the indoor the indoor rides, but I know that's something they're going to look into. And also the dining, I believe there's limit on indoor dining. I don't know by then what it'll be, but, a lot of these things have changed. Gavin Newsom just a week or so ago just changed all the guguidelines for theme parks. So yeah. Well, he's been, there's a big push for his recall. So it really,
right.
So
you got to admire the guy for sticking to his guns. I mean, for as long as he did. And I think in hindsight, I think it was probably one of the smartest things to do, to make sure that, I know California, they're giving out the vaccine like it's candy. So, I mean, everyone's getting it. So, I think as last I saw, there's like 11 or 12 million people already that are vaccinated in California, which is there's 40 million people in the state. So it's great. It's good news. They're saying Orange County might be down into the orange tier by the time they actually open, which will be 25% capacity. So Disneyland's capacity is 80,000. So you're looking at 12,000 people in Disneyland, which that's kind of a dream too, to be in a park that empty. So, that'd be absolutely, you can do whatever you want in a couple hours and be done. You know what I mean? So, and hopefully that'll work. I kind of hope they do that. I'm hoping they do the time slots, so they'll give more people a chance to get down in there and get back in there. So, and
they're going to do the park reservations for the two parks.
You have to do park reservation.
Yep. And they're not going to fast pass at first. And Avengers Campus is pushed off, but the new Snow White ride will be there on opening day. Snow White Enchanted Dream. And
they have said the Haunted Mansion has had some upgrades and some new magic added to it. So that makes you wonder what they are going to do about dark rides, because it's a dark ride. But that one's pretty distanced. I mean, you can pretty much get in there, I think. I know at Walt Disney World, don't you walk in and you walk right to your Doom Buggy, right? And it's kind of spaced out, correct?
You do now. You walk through the stretching room.
Yeah. See, that's the thing at Disneyland, you can't do that. You can't do that at Disneyland, because it actually is. It's the function of the stretcher room actually takes you underground, so you can walk underneath the railroad track to get to the ride. So they might take you in through the exit. I don't know. I don't know how they'll do that, or have like 15 people at a time in the stretching room. So, but hey, if there's only 15% of people there, it makes sense. So.
And something else to think about too, if they do close some rides because of capacity or because of, being indoor, that does take away from the capacity. So think about, that square footage, that if it is closed, then this capacity goes down as well.
Yep. I don't know what the capacity is for California Adventure. So I heard it's like 25, 30,000, something like that. It's not anywhere near what Disneyland is, but yeah, I could talk about this all night, and I have been all day, to where my wife said, shut up, I don't want to hear it anymore. So, but I'm excited. What are your guys? No, really. Go ahead. It's your guys'. What do you guys think? I'll stop.
It's really good news for all the cast members.
Oh, God. 10,000 cast members. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited for everyone to get back to work. I mean, they've been waiting a year. And so, and I think Disney has proved to us through their other parks that they can open safely and do well. So they know what to do. I think it's going to be good. I'm curious to see how they handle food situations with their restrictions, and kind of seeing what they're going to do with the rides is kind of like, it's making me curious, but it wouldn't, like, if I was in California, it wouldn't stop me from trying to go.
Well, I have a feeling that the DisInsider is going to be pretty busy here the next couple of weeks, putting information out there, because they're going to get a lot of information out really quick, I think. So I think I'm looking forward to that.
You have to be California resident, we said, right?
Yeah. Yes. And that, yeah, but I've read things and heard things that they said that might lift pretty quickly. So
they just don't want people coming in, because like Florida, I know Walt Disney World, it's like it's a separate world, right? Like, but Disneyland is so like right there amongst the community, yeah. And so they don't want people coming in from out of town.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it's basically its own country down there in Florida. I mean, it's got its own.
I do think
it's its own. Yeah. Municipality.
I do think we'll see a push here, maybe in a month or so, for them to allow out-of-state guests, because the hotels are going to be the next thing that's going to, is going to have to ramp back up because, but I do get it from the beginning. I'm just happy to say that Disneyland's reopening. So after what was it? You said, Shawn, 14 months by the time it actually opens?
It'll be 14 months. A little bit, just under 14 months. Yeah, it'll be a year and 6 weeks. Yeah.
14 months. Who would have ever thought Disneyland would be open for that long? It's only been closed 3 times before that for anything. So, and those were for like just a day at a time. So absolutely insane. So
just saying that, and then knowing like in 30 or 40 years, we're going to be telling like kids about this. It's crazy.
We'll probably have another pandemic by then. So because no one's going to learn anything from this. And yeah. I know.
Well, I don't know. Like, we noted in our school, because I'm an elementary school teacher, we noted that nobody had colds or flus this year.
I know, it's amazing what happens when you stay distanced and you wash your hands.
And I think the masks made a difference.
The masks,
for sure. Yeah. For sure.
So a lot of teachers I know are saying that during cold and flu seasons, they're going to wear masks.
Yeah, I love it.
Because, I mean, when teachers get knocked out, that's awful.
Good on you, honestly. Like we talked about your job, that you're a kindergarten teacher. Good on you, because I don't know how you have gone through all of this with little ones and trying to make them keep their mask on and also trying to teach them. So good for you. And also for Breanna, the same thing. I mean, your job, you're a nurse. So, amazing job.
My kids are champs.
Good job, girls. Good job, ladies.
Yeah. Shawn, you're just a champ in your own.
I'm just a champ. I got to keep my fiance, who's a teacher, in line too.
There you go.
I've never in my world did I think teachers would go from being like, hailed as like the great, such great employee job, but then like been dumped on at the same time, like recently, and it's got nothing to do with the teachers too. Like, I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, you guys, like they're putting themselves out there, and the nurses and the doctors. It's like,
for sure.
Yeah, so. I mean, my guidance counselor, I was at lunch with her yesterday, our counselor at school, and she said that she's had to talk to more teachers the past few days than kids.
Oh yeah,
it's stress, and we're getting a lot of backlash that we're not used to.
Yeah,
and completely unwarranted.
Absolutely. Well, good on you both. So Samantha, I'm sorry, Sam. I don't know why I keep doing that. I don't know why I keep doing that.
Samantha.
Stop calling me
you are such a Samantha. You are such a Samantha.
Your name is right there, and I keep looking up and saying, but so let's do our focus on an Imagineer.
Oh, yeah.
Who we got this week?
We are going to do Roger Broggie. So that's going to be Walt's train guy. We're going to get into that. But it's going to start with a quote about him. So Michael Eisner said, "Any mechanical things you had to do, what you said was call Roger. He'll know how to fix it. Without him, Disneyland wouldn't have happened." So Roger Broggie basically built anything that moved. He built the steam locomotives, electronic robots. He was just gifted with this genius ability to do anything mechanical. Sorry guys, I lost my notes there. Okay. So he actually had a pretty interesting career before he started working for the Walt Disney Company. He got some vocational training in high school in Chicago, ironically, which is right where I'm from. And he got the vocational machine shop training, and he ended up moving to Los Angeles, where he worked for companies like Technicolor and Bell and Howell, and then he worked for General Service Studios. And I mean, he did some work with like Charlie Chaplin. He worked on some of his films. And then in 1939, he got his first job as a precision machinist at the Disney Studios. He knew a friend who was working at the studios, so he got in there. And his first job was to build the multiplane camera, which, as we know, that was like a big deal in animation at the time, or in film in general. That was how they were making their films. So he was at the Burbank studio, and he was working with iWorks on special effects. And then in 1949, so 10 years after that, Broggie went to build the model trains at Carrollwood Pacific Railroad, which is what Walt Disney had in his backyard in the Holmby Hills. He is credited with supervising the building of the Lily Bell, which is a 1/8 scale miniature working live steam locomotive named for Walt's wife, Lillian. In 1950, he became the head of the Disney Studios machine shop, and he was the transportation specialist. So let me grab a drink for a sec. So pretty much if it moved, he had his hand in it, which could also be said about Bob Gurr. So he created special effects for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and oversaw the development of the Santa Fe and Disneyland Railroad.
It's okay. It's okay, Sam. She gets really choked up when she talks about trains. It's just a thing. Yeah. Thomas to the tank, it just gets her every time.
Yeah.
Are you all right, Sam? Are you good? Okay.
Good.
She's back.
I had a tickle, but I'm okay. Yeah, no, trains definitely make me emotional. They bring out the Walt purist in me. He worked on the monorail, Matterhorn bobsleds. So like I said, very closely worked with Bob Gurr, who did a lot of those things too. Pretty much anything that was mechanical at Disneyland or Walt Disney World, he had his hand in, including developing the Omni Mover, which is a very popular ride system for most of the dark rides.
Yes.
They developed he worked with his team to develop the first fully functioning audio animatronic for Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln for the World's Fair. And then he worked on the EPCOT Center project. When he retired, he was still consulting for Walt Disney Imagineering. He was named a Disney legend in 1990, and then he died in 1991 at home. I always think it's ironic how they become a Disney legend like the year before they die. Like, it's like right before they die. They don't get to enjoy it for very long. His sons, Michael Broggie and Roger Broggie Jr., rededicated the Walt Disney World Railroad Steam Locomotive No. 3 to be called the Roger E. Broggie in honor of him. His son has a book about him. Michael Broggie does. And he's a really nice guy, too. He's very easy to talk to, Michael Broggie is.
Have you interviewed him, too?
I have not interviewed him, but I would like to. I mean, I might work on that. We're Facebook friends. And then they overhauled it and added that to Tweetsie Railroad in Blowing Rock, North Carolina. And then he finally got his window on Main Street in 2007, and he's got so many titles on there. The text on it reads, Can Do Machine Works, Mechanical Wonders, Live Steam Engines, Magical Illusions, Cameras, Roger Broggie, Shopmaster, Advisor to the Magic Makers.
Jeez.
So I think that's like the wordiest window on Main Street. And that goes to show how important he really was all over at WED and WDI, and to show like how big his legacy is. He was the advisor to the Magic Makers. You would think that that would be Walt, but Walt was going to Roger.
Wow.
And he was going to Marty. He was going to his lead Imagineers. They were the Magic Makers. He was the ideas man, and they were the Magic Makers. So that's what I got for Roger Broggie.
That's awesome.
Was Marty was Marty an Imagineer?
Yes.
He was. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I love him. I love the old videos of him, like when they were doing the Imagineering story. But that was awesome. I did not know that much about Roger. But thank you for that. That was great.
Thanks, Sam. That's awesome.
Yeah, no problemo.
Is the caboose for the Walt Disney World Railroad also the Lily Bell? Because I know at Disneyland it is.
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's called the Lillian Bell. I think I'm almost positive the caboose is at Disneyland.
No, I don't think it is at Walt Disney World.
Could you say caboose one more time? I think I hear people say that enough. It's caboose. It sounds kind of fun. Thank you.
Caboose.
Yeah. Thanks, Sam. That was great.
That was awesome.
I love hearing about some of the not like quite as like the Joe Roadies and the Tony Baxters, but then some of the other ones.
I've heard that name
just as much, but not quite as.
He built Walt's train. He built Carrowood Pacific Railroad. That's so cool.
It's funny because you said there more than one time. He's the guy that made things move, and all I've ever heard from I don't have the knowledge you do when it comes to Imagineers, but that always to me was Bob Gurr. Bob Gurr was the one that made everything move, and that's what everyone has always said. If it moved, Bob built it. I think they even said that in the Imagineering story. But but sounds like Roger had just as much a hand in it.
Roger and Bob worked very, very closely together on a lot of projects.
Yeah. Roger was the X-Lax of Imagineers. If it moved, he made everything move.
There you go. Got it out there.
Thank you.
Here all week.
Thank you.
Caboose.
Thank you. Caboose. Brianna, doesn't she have a feature? Brianna gets around. Brianna gets around.
Oh my gosh.
We'll get
We're going to work on a theme song for you.
Yeah, we'll get the Lopez. We'll get the Lopez's to draft one up,
and then it'll go number 1 on iTunes.
Yeah,
as long as it beats Agatha
Apple
All
Music.
Along.
I do not sing that song though. We'll get kicked off again.
Then we'll play it on Walt's apartment and we'll get shut down. So
Yeah.
And that's all I want
live,
is for my song to shut down Walt's apartment. It's my goal in life. New goal.
Oh wow, thanks.
Classic, Brianna. Classic.
All right, Brianna, where are you getting around to this week?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we are going to look at the longest titles. Disney loves the longest titles for their EPCOT festivals. Taste of EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival. Put that on all their merch.
Wow.
Yes.
Can we get an acronym?
That's still a lot of letters. But so
can we call it Flower and Garden?
Calling it Flower and Garden for this.
All right.
So it started March 3rd and it is going all the way to July 5th. This is longer than usual. Usually it's through the springtime. But yeah, we're getting it all the way through July. They've really lengthened all of their festivals this year to kind of just, give us a little something for this pandemic. They've kind of took a lot of stuff away from us. But so when you go to Flower and Garden, this is... Again, it starts in the spring, so this is like your springtime festival. There's these beautiful topiaries everywhere, flowers. It's just like you go into EPCOT and it's this ambiance of spring, beautiful colors. And on an audio podcast, I really can't sit here and talk about all the food as much as I'd love to because it's all so good. But I will bring up things that maybe people don't really get to do or don't see, or like my first time going, I didn't know about all this stuff until like halfway through and I really didn't get to appreciate it. But there are gardens that you can walk through and see different flowers, and it's a lot of cool stuff that's maybe not native to right where you live. So it's kind of cool to just walk around, look at the signs, see everything. When you first go into EPCOT, you're going to be greeted with a bunch of topiaries, a special map, and a food passport. This passport has literally everything in it. Pick one up. I met a girl that I went to college with in EPCOT one time when I was going to... Actually, I think it was the International Festival of the Arts. And she had no idea that this festival was going on. So I literally just handed her my passport and walked over and got a new one because it's so important. And a lot of people, if it's your first time or a couple times going to Disney, this isn't something that's always advertised to people like outside. So definitely look into these festivals. They're a lot of fun and really give you something else to look forward to in EPCOT. So once you get your passport, it's going to have listed of all the topiaries and where they are. It's going to have all the food, all the gardens, the merch, and different games. So in the passport, there's what's called the Garden Graze, and this has 6 different food items on it. And when you eat these food items, you take the completed passport with the stamps that they give you over to the Pineapple Promenade, and you get like a treat, which is like a little ice cream cup. But so you'll go in, you'll eat, and these are kind of like plant-based foods. They try to make it like interesting for food and wine. It's usually like a cheese, like different cheeses to try. International Festival of the Holidays is cookies. Usually it's a cookie walk. And so this one is kind of like a plant-based food. There is grilled baby vegetables, boneless Impossible Korean short rib, pineapple skewers, potato pancakes with house-made applesauce, and a lemon macadamia cake. It's in the Taste of Marrakesh. So. Have you had that cake?
You had me at potato pancakes and applesauce.
I got the potato pancakes and applesauce once, and they're really good. I think that's the only thing I've ever had on this list. And I think a couple of these are new. There is a lot of new food. Again, I said I wasn't going to go into food because I just feel like I can't when I can't show pictures and stuff. But there is a lot of food. There are tons of... So you're going to start, like, you'll walk around through Future World, and then you'll go through, like, the countries, and there are just food stands. And as you walk around, there's food so it's themed to the countries. So all these foods are themed to the countries, and it's just such an amazing experience to sit around, eat all these amazing food, walk around, just get this spring ambiance and this feeling. And it really gives just like a new feel to Epcot. Every one of these festivals just brings out such a different feel to Epcot. So like every time you can go to Epcot 4 different times a year, and it could be a completely different experience each time.
It is like that.
Yeah.
Breanna, what is the pricing like on the food
On the
or the food booths?
is usually between for food it's usually between $4.50 and like $8.75. There are small portions, so you can eat a lot, or I try to eat a lot. It's hard. I could go back constantly and continue to get different food items. There is plenty to choose from. Drinks are kind of around the same. There are alcoholic drinks that will get up to like $10, $12, $15. Some souvenir cups. Right now, I think they have the Orange Bird and the bee. Spike?
Bee, yeah. Spike the bee, yeah.
Spike the bee and Orange Bird. I'm not sure if they're still doing like the orange slush, and Spike the bee is like a lemon.
It's disgusting.
Is it bad? I've never tried the Spike the bee one, though. A couple years ago, the Orange Bird had this like lemon vanilla slush. It was the best thing. I consistently think about it.
I like the orange bird, like the orange slush, but the Spike the Bee, whatever they had last year, was disgusting.
I have not tried that one, and now I don't want to, but who knows? Different wines, beers, different frozen drinks. One thing I love to get is at the front there is a little like trading post, and they usually have a lot of merch. They carry gift cards that you can put around your wrist, and it has a little protective piece on it so people can't like get the code on the back. Usually, I'm really sad they took this away. Usually for Flower and Garden, that piece is made out of compostable material that has little seeds in it that you can plant, and it grows like wildflowers. They took that away this year, which is sad. I think I threw mine in the yard and tried to watch them grow. So this is helpful because a lot of people, especially when you're traveling, can get their credit cards like frozen by their banks. Or a lot of people with debit cards have like numbers of purchases they can make during the day. So when you're going around trying all this food and having to make multiple purchases, it can easily get your cards frozen. So having a gift card that can be right there on your wrist just makes everything go much quicker. Although if you are buying alcoholic drinks, you still have to pull out your license every time, so that's something to have like on hand.
So think of that like if you're going to an arcade with a kid and you're preloading like a token card for them so that they can swipe it to play the game. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's just a straight up gift card. You can put as much or as little on it as you want. You can use it anywhere. I've used leftover of mine at Disney stores. So it can be used at Disney stores. I've took it over to Magic Kingdom, finish off. If I don't finish using all the money on my gift card, it can be used on Disney property. So, if you know you're going to be spending money at Disney, don't worry about, accidentally putting too much on. You will be able to use it other places throughout Disney.
Can you charge at the booths with your Magic Band or with the app?
With the app, I think so. I am not fully sure because the last few times I've went, I have not stayed on property, and I know there was a lot of issues with cards and Magic Bands working on the app before then. But I'm pretty sure that you can. There's also been random times, which again don't happen super often, but they do have random times where it's nice to have cash because they have had their registers go down. I think it's because they're outside registers. There's something with their Wi-Fi that has happened, and it's definitely happened more than once in times that I have been there. So it's just something to be warned about.
And you don't want that Disney ATM fee.
Yeah. So just it's again, I don't think it's not a daily thing or anything, but it's something that has happened more than once and should be prepared for. Kids games, so you can go through Epcot, and then I think it's at the trading post. You can pay, it's $8. You get this little map, and it's for finding a scavenger hunt of Spike the Bee, and it's got listed of different plants and stuff that are around. You then, as you're walking around Epcot, you try to find him, and then you just match the sticker. So like if Spike's by a tomato, you take the tomato sticker, you put it by the Spike that you found, and then when you take it back, you can return it, and you get little merch toys that are usually of Spike or of other characters. So, I mean, honestly, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different things you can do throughout the park, but yeah, that's basically it. Go, enjoy, eat a lot of food.
And what's it called again?
The Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Put that on a pin.
Go for it.
They have
pins
them
out.
Yeah.
They have pins out in the merch.
Awesome. That sounds fun. Shawn, you're going to get to see that when you're there.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I got about 3 days there. So
Nice.
Are you going to do the Spike the Bee scavenger hunt?
no.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I already watched Molly over at All Ears do it on YouTube, and I'm good.
All right. So speaking of that, Shawn and Paul are going to be going to Walt Disney World here in just a few weeks. So we had Chris on a few weeks ago, talked with Shawn about some food. I have the two ladies here that go to Walt Disney World frequently. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through each park, and I want each of you to pick one thing from each park. It can't be the same thing, so I'll alternate who I ask first. So basically, just kind of give Shawn an idea of something you got to see. Just one thing. We have different, So I will start with what park did I put first? I will start with Breanna.
Yes.
Disney's Animal Kingdom. What is the one thing Shawn has got to see there?
I'm gonna have to go with Pandora at nighttime. It is a completely different world at night. There's interactive lights. It's beautiful.
It's bioluminescent.
Yes. One of my favorite things to walk around and see.
Well, I'm excited because I know right now it's closed at 5, but the week before us, they've extended the hours, and by Friday we'll know if they're going to extend the hours for our week too.
Just a little more, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they will to like 8 or 9, which would be nice. That's cool. Okay.
I mean, how many days are you in at Animal Kingdom?
Well, 2. Well, so yeah, we have one for sure in the morning, and then we can park hop after 2. And not one day this week where it's been all sold out have they actually stopped park hopping. So
okay,
yeah,
cool. Yep. All right, Sam, what is your one thing that Shawn needs to see at Animal Kingdom?
I'm glad you said you're going to be there in the morning, but because Kilimanjaro Safari in the morning, the animals are the most active in the morning because, they're just getting up and they're just being fed. So that's when you're going to see most of them out and about. If you've never been up close and personal with giraffes or ostriches, this is going to be your opportunity. And sometimes the animals will get stopped. They'll stop in the middle of the road and you kind of have to just sit there in your safari vehicle and wait for them to move, and don't fall in because they'll leave you.
A tip too. No tip. I got a tip.
Got a tip. All right.
No, I think it's the gate. It's at the gate. I think it's the gate. Crocodiles. It's either crocodiles or gators. I can't remember which one. But if you fall in, they tell you they will leave you.
All right. Well, I'll stay far away from that.
There's no chance you're gonna get out alive.
Jesus.
So they'll just drive away so nobody else sees you get devoured.
Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay.
Good tips.
All right.
Go in the morning.
I'm just teasing you, though. Yeah, I'm just teasing, though. You're not going to fall in. I mean, I take my little one on it.
Yep.
No,
I'm glad Sam said that because that was, I fought between Pandora at night and Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, I was like, mine too were like Flight of Passage and Kilimanjaro Safari.
All I ever hear about is Expedition Everest. I guess it's not that cool, or is it pretty cool too?
Oh no, it's good. Yeah,
it's good too. I wanted something that wasn't a ride.
Gotcha. All right. So, go ahead, Sam.
I was gonna say you can probably skip Dinoland, unless
they
you
got rid
really
of what's
want
it
to do
called?
Dinosaur.
What was the ride they got rid of?
Primeval World.
Oh, no, I'll do Dinosaur. I like Dinosaur. And since you can't park up till 2 and it opens at 8, that's a long time to be there.
Yeah.
And you're missing the shows.
Well, when you're walking towards that way.
Yeah, no shows. Sorry.
Flame Tree Barbecues over when you're walking down that way. They have really good pulled pork barbecue fries that are delicious. But that's also where you're going to bump into Kevin from Up. just kind of running around.
Okay, fun.
He just walks back and forth over there.
Paul's in charge of the food. He's a big, he eats so well, but when he goes with these things, he just goes hardcore. So he's got a long list.
Nice.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, Sam,
what's next?
Hollywood Studios.
Ooh, our first morning there.
What is your number one? Got to do it, no matter what it is.
Slinky Dog Dash.
Perfect. Okay. I know.
Toy Story Land in general.
It looks so cool. To me, it kind of looks cooler than Galaxy's Edge. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's just the whole Toy Story idea. I think it looks pretty cool. So,
Galaxy's Edge is confusing to me. I like it, but I mean everything's in like Arabesh, and it's like I don't.
Right.
Like I'm like which sign? Where's the sign for the bathroom? Like, can you just put a normal sign for a bathroom?
Right.
But I mean, it's definitely worth walking into.
But I've been Galaxy's Edge twice in Disneyland.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm excited for it. But yeah, that'll be very fun. Slinky Dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Brianna, what do you think?
Well, my first choice was Toy Story Land, so I guess I'd have to go with Tower of Terror then. Although you probably wrote it before it theme change in Disney.
And DCA did. I know it's got a little different ride system there, but I'm stoked.
Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster is fun too. But I was gonna say.
Whew.
All right. So,
do you like coasters, Shawn?
I do. Yeah, okay. I do. And that's probably gonna be the first. We're probably gonna hit Tower first. Like
unless you get that early boarding pass. So
we'll see. 7:00. I got it all planned. I can do it from my room, the hotel room.
Okay,
Make
Brianna.
sure you're on
my data.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, trust me. It's well, we're at 2 mornings there, so I'll be able to get it once, and then you can do it at 1:00 as well. Then you can do it at 7:01. So I'll have 4 shots at it. So hopefully get one of them.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, Samantha.
Brianna, Epcot.
Epcot.
The bee sipper.
Obviously the bee sippers. All the sippers. Honestly, just the festival and the World Showcase. I could walk around this thing for hours on it, days on it. There are still things like I'll turn a corner and be like, "Oh, I haven't been in this store before." So it's just
World Showcase.
Just take your time, slowly walk around World Showcase, and actually I feel like a lot of people hurry through because it's not Disney themed. Like it doesn't have Disney IP in your face. So I feel like people just walk through it really fast, but it's a lot of fun.
Cool. Okay.
Sam?
This is really hard because I really want to say Journey into Imagination with Figment because it's like Figment's my boo. But I'm going to say Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
Everybody has to experience Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, I'm so happy they're doing the refurb. I want them to do it, but I'm glad that we'll be able to go in when we're there because it's going to be, barring some major thing.
You've done Soarin'. It's a little different.
Yeah.
But
we actually said if we might skip, if we have to skip one just because of the lines, we'll skip Soarin', if we have to.
So I definitely would say Spaceship Earth, but try and do Journey into Imagination.
Oh, we will. And Living with the Land.
Send me a picture. Living with the Land, yes.
I know that I'm going to like that one. I like just sitting and doing nothing, so. Brianna, when you said to walk slowly around World Showcase, Paul's really, he likes to run and do all that stuff. So I'm going to be like, hey, Brianna said we have to walk slowly.
Yeah, tell him it was
leisurely stroll.
Yes, this isn't me being lazy. This is my feet hurting. This is because Brianna said we had to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. I'll send them
all right. Sam, last park, Magic Kingdom. The one thing that Shawn and Paul got to see.
Everything.
Oh. We're doing Be Our Guest the first night in the parks. We have we have a buffer when you get there. We have a full day. Like we come in Sunday night. All of Monday we have no park reservations. It's just us. We're going to be there. Disney Springs, Stormalong Bay because we're going to be at Yacht Club, and we're just going to kind of chill, kind of get used to the time difference and everything. And then our first day is Tuesday.
Well, just take us through it then. Every day. What are you doing Tuesday? Where are you going Tuesday?
Oh no, I can't tell you that. We got fans who'll follow me. But we started at Hollywood Studios. Let me just tell you that we started at Hollywood Studios Tuesday morning, and that evening at 6:00 we have Be Our Guest reservation. So I just wanted to share that bit with you.
All right.
I'm gonna say Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Oh yay! Okay, good. And I do have kidney stones sometimes, so if I have one, it'll shake it loose.
Perfect.
Good.
That's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Right.
Oh, fun. Okay. Brianna?
See, I would normally say Happily Ever After, but it's not there. So I'm trying to think
turkey leg.
Like things that aren't at Disneyland that are in Magic Kingdom.
I was even thinking like Seven Dwarfs, but that's kind of what Snow White's wish is now.
It literally, it was like Seven Dwarfs is now going to be a faster version of Enchanted Wish. But yeah, Seven Dwarfs is great. Usually I would say Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, but that's also not happening right now. And I would say The People Mover, and that's not up right now.
That could be, they said April 2nd or something.
Well, if you get a chance, The People Mover. And
okay.
I definitely like Tomorrowland and Walt Disney World better than Disneyland.
Fair, yeah.
So, just
go into Pinocchio's village house.
Okay.
And up against the window, you can look into Small World.
Okay,
so
I saw that on the video the other day. Okay,
so you could hold up notes for the kids. I don't know if they're doing the notes, or you could just be making faces at kids riding the ride.
Oh, cute. Okay, cool. I love that. Okay.
I don't know if they're doing it because of COVID, but you can usually sign the Blue Fairies book in there too.
Okay.
Make a wish.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, these are fun. Good. We have one more show before then too. So
yes, and then we're gonna try to talk about shopping on that show. That's.
Ooh.
I'm just giving you a little tease.
We're gonna tell you about the merch.
We're gonna tell you all about
in
the
Magic Kingdom. I don't know if it's this way in Disneyland, but I know it is in Magic Kingdom. No, it's Magic Kingdom. Obviously, never mind. Duh, Sam. But the pavement that you're standing on matches the land that you're in.
Okay.
So. Main Street walking towards the castle is the red carpet, so it's red. When you're in Adventureland, it's seashells and stuff and sea stones because it's supposed to be piratey.
Mm-hmm.
That was Adventureland. In Fantasyland, it's kind of like an old storybook kind of thing. In Tomorrowland, it's gears and inside of machine parts looking. I don't know what else. Oh, and then in Frontierland, it's red clay because the Wild West.
Sure.
I don't think Disneyland is like that.
No, they do. They have different. I don't know if it's those exact ones, but yeah. And I know Liberty Square has the poop.
Yes. I forgot Liberty Square. Yes. The poop road.
Poop road.
And if you even look at the tree in Liberty Square it has 13 lanterns on it for the 13 original colonies. And if you look at the way that the window shutters hang off of the windows in Liberty Square, it's all the details in Liberty Square are just so time period sensitive. I love it.
Well, I'm very excited. Thank you guys.
Absolutely. So that will bring us to the end of this week's episode of Extra Magic Hour. Sam, where can we find you on the internet?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Samantha Moldecki or Disology Podcast.
Perfect. Breanna, how about you?
You can find me at Breanna_K on Twitter, Breanna_K7 on Instagram, and on the Walt's Apartment Instagram page.
Yes. And then Shawn, how about you, my friend?
Yep. Shawn Nyberg, SeanNYberg at Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Nice.
You can find all of us at waltsapt.com. You can find all of a little bio on all of us there, and also all of our shows, and listen to the shows there as well. So, from all of us here,
wait.
Okay, sorry.
The group, Facebook group.
Oh yeah, Facebook group.
Behind
the
Walt's Apartment Behind the Lamp.
Check it out. We're almost to 1,000. We're almost to 1,000 in less than 2 months. So, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you, all the listeners. Thank you so much, and hope you have a magical day. Good night.
Thanks, Shawn.
You bet.